Is it me and you now? Let me smoke that pipe. Oh, feeling so fly. Wanna dance with you. Rhythm takes control. Always on tonight. And you shine like gold. I can get enough now. Let me come real close now. Baby, strike a pose.
thoughts that make you feel good. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Why would you want to be crabby or owly or mad? Just stop. Stop. Get out of those ruts of crabbiness. You know what? You can't think good thoughts and have bad feelings going on in your body. So your feelings are a result of your thoughts. So think good things and you'll feel good. Who doesn't want that? Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. A great place to do yoga because it's a non-judgment zone. Nobody's judging you, and you do it your way. You do it your way to what feels good in your body. Bottom of the screen says, do what feels good for your body. I should make that word your a lot bigger. You've got to do what feels good for you. Do a pose that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, back out of it and don't do it because you don't want to experience pain. If anything is painful, back out of it, don't do it. Take it to a lesser percentage. You know, doing something to 5% is fine. It's better than nothing at all. Give yourself some slack. Cut yourself some slack. It's a 1 hour long practice. We practice every single day live, start to finish, no cuts, no retakes. It's just like being in a real class. So join us every single day for something different. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, like us, do whatever that stuff is that you do on those social media platforms. So I'm just glad that you are here. Today is an all-seated, down on the ground practice. A lot of deep stretching, especially for your hips and your shoulders. You'll feel better there. We're not doing any balancing today, so you're going to stay down on your mat. But don't forget, one of our little homework assignments is to, like when you're brushing your teeth or standing at your sink, balance on one foot. Balance is so important. Work on it, use it, or lose it. All right, like I said, shoulders and hips are where we're going today. The word to think about as you practice, with all S words this week. Sit. Just sit. That's what we're doing. We're placing ourselves in a position. We're getting situated and we're having proper alignment. It matters. And fish pose is a great pose to do that. And we'll finish up with that today. In your fish pose, you open up your chest and good posture. It just makes you want to send your shoulders back right now, doesn't it? All right. So you're going to need some props. The usual props we use. We are going to use a strap today. So get a strap or a belt to your rope. That would work too. An eye shade and a little hand towel. Those are always little props to have. And everybody's got those. And 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have them, buy them. They're great. You're going to like them. All right, and water. Have something to drink. Okay, so we're seated. Come into first pose today before we start. Lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What's going on? Give it a number. Assign it a number. And let's work on bringing that stress number down. Okay, so first pose, child's pose. All right, let's come into this. So for your child's pose, today what I'm going to do is bring my blocks to the top of my mat. You don't have to. You can do it any way you like. You can put a towel under your knees. You can have your knees together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels, arms down by your sides. Rest your head onto the block or to the mat. There's one variation of child's pose. The one I'm taking today, knees spread wide, hips back to heels, and I'm getting into the shoulders, remember? If this is a little too intense, don't start there. Just kind of work your way into it slowly. I'm going to bring the blocks to the top of the mat at their stable height. I'm going to place my hands on my blocks, sink my hips back to my heels. I'm going to take a deep breath in through my nose and a big sighing breath out through my mouth and let my head rest on my mat. Now you could have a third block and let your head rest on it. You know, buy props, make them work for you. Now adjust. Adjust and get comfortable here. We're starting out pretty intense in the shoulders already. Kind and loving thoughts. This is our whole month of being kind to ourselves. We're oftentimes not kind to ourselves. And it is a week of putting yourself first. Nothing wrong with that. You got to take care of yourself before you take care of others. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Few big sighing breaths out through your mouth. And if you don't like your hands on the blocks, don't do it. Or maybe pull them a little closer so there's a little bend in your elbow. Maybe that feels good. Settle in and get comfortable here. Deep breath in through your nose. Big breath out through your mouth. As you sigh it out, imagine your spine is really long. Your tailbone is going to the bottom of your mat. The crown of your head is lengthening to the top of your mat. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Let it go. And feel what you feel. I think a lot of times we're on autopilot. Feel what you feel. How does this feel, up in your inner thighs, up kind of like in your groin? How does it feel in your shoulders? And assess. If it's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe with it. Now close your lips and focus on your breath by breathing in and out of your nose. We're going to do some different types of breathing in today's practice, and pay attention to them. See how you like them. But for right now, Ujjayi Pranayama breath. In through the nose and out through the nose, if that works for you. Now I'm going to slip my blocks. I'll talk you through it so you don't even have to look up. I'm going to slip my blocks a little closer to my shoulders and maybe rest my forearms on them. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the outside world go. Too much chaos. Too much anger and hostility and crabbiness. Everything is negative. Let it go. You don't have to be that way. Think good thoughts, and you'll feel better. I'm going to scoot these blocks even closer now so I can put my elbows on them. I'm going to put my hands together like I'm clapping or in prayer, and I'm going to bend my elbows a lot and bring my prayer hands behind my head. Breathe in. Long, deep breaths out. You are at peace. Maybe your little mantra today, which you repeat in your head, might be something like, I am happy. I am calm. I am at peace. Breathe in. Deep breath out. All right, big wake-up call for your knees, your hips, and especially your shoulders. Maybe your focus mentally has been on perhaps the discomfort in your shoulders, and you're not even thinking about your hips. Or you're not even thinking about your ankles that are getting a nice stretch too. Breathe in. Let the outside world go out, go away. Calm your mind. Rest your body. And stretch it out. Don't stress out. Maybe right here, right now feels super great and you want to stay here. Totally good. Give yourself permission to do that. I'm going to slowly come out of this pose the way I came in. I'm going to release my hands back down to the earth. I'm going to slowly press on up and come out of my child's pose. And I'm going to come into a seated pose. All right, so however you want to sit. I'm going to sit in Sukhasana. I do that often. If it doesn't work for you, sit any way you like. Maybe just crisscrossing the legs. Maybe you keep your legs long and you decide, I'm just going to cross one over the other. It's all good. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to bring my right foot up on top of my left thigh. Settle in here. Maybe slip a block or a towel or something under that top knee if that feels better. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. I'm going to say hi to Stan and Tammy, Lynn and Lori, Scott, Tyrone, Esther, Marietta, Kelly, Tina, Rena, Tim, Tom, and Canal. Glad you guys are here. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. All right, so alignment is important. Shoulders over your hips because you can. You've got good posture. Hands together in prayer. Repeat your little mantra. Breathe in, breathe out. I am happy. I am happy, and why not? Maybe you like your hands down on your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Maybe you like the Ujjayi Pranayama breathing, but here's another way of breathing. I can tell you how to breathe, right? Breathe any way you like. But maybe that's straw breathing. We sometimes do this at the end when we do our final Shavasana pose. But to straw breathe, you breathe in through the nose. And then the name, think of breathing through a little straw. Exhale through your teeny little lips, like you're breathing out through like a cocktail straw. And really play with it a little bit. Really try to fully exhale. Really make that exhale really long. In. And out. You know what you need because you're your own best teacher. See how you like that. Straw breathing. Shoulders are soft and away from the ears. Maybe you can kind of keep your eyes closed here if you want, because you're familiar with all these next moves. Let your arms float on up to the sky. Come into extended mountain arms, like Tadasana. We know that pose. We do that often. Fingers lift up to the sky. Keep your both bottom cheeks balanced. Breathe in. Soften through the shoulders. Your breath is really all you got. Use it. Appreciate it. Lengthen up as you inhale. Let it go as you exhale. I don't know if you're doing that Ujjayi breath or if you're straw breathing or just deep breaths in and out. Try not to hold your breath, although we do have a breathing that we're going to do in a bit that does hold your breath for a little bit. But just get comfortable here, arms lifted. Lift your spirits. All right, turn your hands so your palms are facing the front of the room. Exhale and come on down. Bring your hands down to the earth. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Walk your hands a little more forward. Walk them forward, take it slowly. Maybe walk them a little farther. Keep both bottom cheeks down though. And let your gaze go towards your ankles, your belly button. Breathe out your back. Push into the earth. Act as if you're going to push and slide the earth further away from you. Let your belly hollow out as you exhale. Breathe. Slowly slide your hands on back towards your body. Come on up, alignment. Shoulders over your hips. Take your hands, bring them behind you. Little kickstand with the arms. Lift your chest up to the sky. Lift your chin up to the sky too. Stretch it out through the front of your neck. Shoulders come back over your hips. Let's take some side bends. Remember, you can keep your eyes closed. Kind of fun to just focus inward and focus on what you feel. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Extended mountain. You know that. We're back to that. And then let one arm come down to the earth. I'm going to bring my right arm down. I'm going to take my left arm, reach high to the sky, and I'm going to cross the midline of my body and reach to the side of the room. So my left arm is reaching to the right side of the room. Chin away from my chest, top shoulder back. Just a nice big stretch here. Now the beauty of your elbow, lots of beautiful things about your elbows. Your elbow, bend it slightly and intensify the depth of that stretch. So those muscles in between your ribs, you don't even think about those, right? Your intercostal muscles, they like to stretch too. And you are reaching through your fingertips. Feel the stretch between your ribs. Don't think about that very often now, do we? And adjust your elbow. Think of it like a little elevator, going up or down, whatever feels good. Slowly, slowly, slowly straighten that foundational arm. Come back up to the midline. Both arms reach up to the sky. Other arm, my left arm, is going to come down. I'm going to reach through my right fingertips, lengthening up through my spine. Then I'm going to cross the midline of my body, reaching to the left side of my room, using my foundational arm, my left arm, to go up and down. Reaching my fingertips of my right arm to the side of the room. Drawing my shoulder back, chin away from my chest. Soften in the jaws and enjoy the depth of the stretch all up that right side of the body. Both bottom cheeks are down on the mat. Slowly come back up. Extended mountain arms. You know this one. Breathe. Lengthen up. Now bend your elbows. Interlace your fingers. And bring your interlaced fingers in that little like cup shape you have in your hands now. Bring it behind your skull. Drive your elbows to the back of the room. And you know, if that is not doable or doesn't feel okay, just bring your fingers lightly to your temples like we do when we do our sit-ups and drive your elbows to the back of the room. And if that doesn't feel good, there's always a way, right? There's always a way to try. Just cactus your arms, bringing your arms parallel to the sides of the walls, having your biceps and triceps equal distant to your shoulders and your elbows, and just hold it. I'm going to go back to interlaced fingers behind my skull. Breathe. Any way you like, straw breathing, Ujjayi pranayama breath. Turn a little bit to the left, turn a little bit to the right. Let the turn be in your waist. And then finish back at the midline. Release your hands down to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let your shoulders soften as you exhale. Switch out your legs, however you have them. If you have one leg crossed on top of the other, just bring them the opposite way. I'm going to bring my right leg onto the bottom now, and I'm going to bring my left leg to the top. Settle in here. Hands to your knees or hands to prayer center. Tell yourself what you need to hear. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And how about your teeth? Are your jaws clenched? Just kind of soften a little bit. Let it go. How do you wish to breathe? Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Focus on the breath. It's not silly. It's really restorative. Breathe in, breathe out. Lots of good things happening in your hips, trust me. Soften in your shoulders, soften in your knees. Breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, arms go up, extended mountain. Maybe you reach a little higher. Breathe. Turn your hands so your palms are toward the front of your room. As you exhale and draw your navel toward your spine, let your hands come down toward the earth. And if the earth is too far, always take time. Find your blocks. Put those in front of you. Lots of ways to use your blocks. Be creative to make it work for you. What you're going for here is a nice lengthening of your spine. Walk your hands forward. And I've got my left foot on top, so I'm really feeling the sensation in my left glutes. Hands are walked forward. Maybe slide your hands like you're trying to slide the earth bigger as you just push into the earth and just slide your fingers more toward the front of your room. Both bottom cheeks are down. Soften in your jaws. Maybe sigh it out your mouth. Slowly, slowly, slowly walk your hands back closer to your body. Feel what you feel. Shoulders over your hips. Hands sweep around and kickstand a bit. Chest is lifted. Shoulders are back and down, and your chin goes up to the sky. Feel what you feel here, and remember it, because it's going to feel pretty similar when we come into your fish pose. Chest is opened. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly come back to shoulders over your hips. Lift your arms up to your extended mountain arms. Bring one arm down. I'm going to bring my right arm down to the mat. Lengthen up through the left fingers. Cross the midline of your body and play with the elevator elbow. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back. Stretch it out here. Maybe you're noticing, be observant too. Be observant of your body. Maybe you're noticing, hey, I can go a little farther this time on this side. Your body cooperates. Just give it time. Think positive thoughts and let it do what it needs to do. Both bottom cheeks are down. Don't let that left cheek pop up off of the mat. Reach more through your fingers. Big full inhales, big full exhales. It's a little harder here, but just see how it feels. Slowly ride the arm on up, bringing both arms up to the sky. Extended mountain together, reach, even out, lengthen. Left arm comes down to the earth, or your block. You could have your block under your fingers too, that's fine. Lengthen up through your right arm, and then time to bend that elbow. Let the raised arm cross the midline of your body, chin away from your chest, top shoulder back. Elevator, elbow in the left arm. Nice and slow. Nice big stretch. Use your breath. As you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly float it on back up. Lift your arms up to the sky. Really reach. Can your elbows straighten? Can your fingers reach a little bit more? Or not, it's okay. Lengthen up. Soften in the shoulders. Now it's time to interlace your fingers if you like, or cactus out your arms if you like that one too, and take the little cup of your hands behind your skull, cradle your head, elbows driven to the back of the room. Nothing wrong with fingers at the temples, right? Tell yourself that. You do it your way. Showing up is the biggest benefit of the practice. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly, gently, maybe turn to the left, turn to the right. Just a little bit, not much. And when you're ready, come back to the center. Hello, Liz and Bonnie. Nice that you're here. Lift your arms back up to the sky. Breathe in. Soften in the shoulders. Breathe out. Hands to prayer center. Your mantra, your affirmative positive statement about you. Nobody knows what it is. Make it a good one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften in your hips. All right, let's switch it up. Come out of it. Come out of whatever pose you're in and come into a thunderbolt. If you were in a thunderbolt, come into another pose. Maybe try Sukhasana for just a little bit of time. We're going to come to our standing on our knees and sit back on your heels. Just breathe here. Take a big breath in, hands on your thighs, big breath out, shoulders over your hips. You are strong. You got it. And when you're ready, big hug. Tee out your arms. Tee out your arms, drive the backs of your hands to the back of the room, chest is wide and open, just like in fish pose. And then hug yourself. Bring one arm on top of the other. I'm gonna bring my right arm on top of my left. Work the fingers toward the spine. You're kind of all scrunched up here. Soften in the shoulders and drive your shoulders to the sides of your room. So it really feels like a tight hug. I said we're doing shoulders today, shoulders and hips. We're getting into it. Breathe. Open up your arms, tee them out, and let it feel good. Drive your hands to the back of the room like we do when we're standing and we do that you will look taller pose. Open up through the chest. And then hug on the other side. Bring the opposite arm on top. I'm going to bring my left arm on top now. Kind of let my elbows cross the midline, taking my fingers, reaching my fingers toward my spine, softening in the shoulders, and then trying to expand the shoulders to the side of the room. It feels tight. It feels strong. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe you want to go back to that straw breathing. Out through the mouth, you decide. All right, let your arms float down by your sides. Something so simple, shoulder shrugs. Shrug them up to your ears, shrug them back to the back wall, and let them come down. Do a couple shoulder shrugs. Up, back, and down. Bring them up really tight, up towards your ears. Shoulder earrings, right? Bring them back, and then down. How does that feel? All right, okay, you've done that. Let's do a little bit more for the neck and the shoulders. All right, I'm gonna lift my left arm up to the sky. I'm gonna bend my left elbow and take my left fingers, put them on top of my right ear. Then I'm gonna work my left ear to my shoulder. I'm gonna keep my right shoulder down, and I'm gonna use my hand as leverage to just feel that big stretch here all up the right side of my neck. Breathe in, breathe out. How does it feel? We'll finish. Gently, slowly release the fingers from the ear, bring the head back up to the midline, bring the hand, let it float down to the thigh, other side. Reach the right arm up to the sky, bend the right elbow, cross over the top of your head, take your right fingers on top of your left ear, and gently encourage your head to the right side of your body. Soften in the left shoulder. And use your hand. Your arm is strong. You decide how much you want to use it. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you're ready, release your hand, bring your head back up to the midline of your body. We're not done yet. You go back to your bed. All right, so now something a little different with the hands. Extend your arms long like you're serving someone a tray. Are you ready to do the Macarena, right? All right, hands are up, palms face up. And now reach through your fingers, tight in the shoulders. Now bend your elbows so your palms are facing your face. Facing your face. Hold them right here. Now, bend your fingers so you're making a fist, but have your two little bunny ears sticking out. Your thumbs are sticking out. Bring the pinky edges of your hands together and bring your elbows together. Squeeze your elbows down toward your thighs. Hold it here. And I don't know, it depends on how big your chest is if you can do this or not. If you can't quite get them together, just try and imagine it happening. Bring your elbows together, bring the pinky sides of your hands together, drive your elbows down. We're going to do two things here with the arms. Now, your thumbs that are sticking out, kind of work your thumbs toward the earth, but keep your elbows glued together. Work them toward the earth, and then bring them back together. Work them toward the earth. Feel what you feel in your back here. Work your thumbs toward the earth. Nice tight squeeze, right? Then the pinkies come back. Just a couple times. Breathe through it. Then bring the pinkies back together. Now it's the elbows' turn to move. Let your elbows float on up and kind of let your knuckles meet knuckles. And thumbs up. Thumbs up is good, right? Work your elbows good and high, and then work them slowly back down. Roll your knuckles together, kind of like gears, right? Settle. Send the elbows on up again and bring them on back down. Shoulders and hips, we got it going on. Elbows up and elbows down. And let's finish. Float your hands down to your thighs. Feel what you feel in your upper back. I hope that you're feeling more spaciousness. Spaciousness, that's a word, right? You're feeling more space in your shoulders. Just kind of shrug your shoulders, let them go back. And let's come into a neutral tabletop. All right, we're going to stretch the forearms now. Shoulders, how they feeling? All right, come on, tabletop. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Push the earth away. Here's your neutral tabletop. Strong shoulders. We're getting into the shoulders again when we do this cat-cow pose. Surprise, surprise, right? All right. Lengthen through the crown of your head, lengthen through your tailbone. Before we do this, let's stretch the forearms. Bring your hands, your fingertips back towards your knees so your forearms are shining forward. You'll know you're doing it when you feel the intense stretch in your forearms. Doesn't that feel nice? I hope it feels nice for you. I really like the pose. I think our forearms tend to get tight. Fingers are spread wide. Your hands are your foundation. Bring your hips back, maybe wiggle your hips a little bit, and just enjoy what this is doing in your forearms, the stretch there. I'm going to bring my bottom back even more toward my heels because I enjoy that depth of the stretch. So my weight is more into my fingers and it's out of my palms a little bit. You know what feels right for you. Doesn't feel right for everybody. Make it work for you. These are just ways to make it feel right. Wiggle the hips. Feel the fingers on the mat, and then we'll finish. Bring your hands back to a natural position with the fingers shining forward. Lift your hands up, give them a wiggle, circle out, shake out your wrists. When you're ready, we'll come into a cat-cow. All right, so we're going to get back into the shoulders with cat-cow, and we're going to get into the spine. So from a neutral tabletop, press the tops of your feet into your mat, press your hands into your mat, your back is nice and flat, crown of your head and tailbone going in opposite directions. Exhale the air out of your mouth, out of your nose, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, push your arms into the earth, feel goodness in your shoulders. Inhale, cow pose, let your tailbone and the crown of your head lift. So we're getting back into the neck, back into the shoulders. Feel the shoulders protract and retract as you do this pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Do a couple on your own. I'll be quiet. Focus on what you feel. So good for your spine. When you're ready, neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. Send your right leg long. Lift your right leg up, bringing your knee to hip height. Send your right leg long onto your mat, driving your heel toward the back wall. Leg is nice and straight. Both hips are equal distant to your mat. Add in your left arm, reach and stretch here. Find length in your spine. Stretch it out, push the earth away, hold it here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, like a bird dog, pointing, right? Hand down, knee meets knee. Other side, left leg lifts, knee to hip height, leg extends long. Take it in layers. Maybe you just choose to do the leg. Dial your left hip down, add in the right arm if you want. You could have a block at the top of the mat and balance your fingertips on the block. Stretch, reach, find length, and find push into the earth. Hold it. Feels good to lengthen through the spine, and you are doing it right here, right now. Gotta find that space. Gotta find the space to move. Hand down, knee down. How was that? Now, foundation. Let's do toes pose. Have a seat on your heels. Bring your blocks by your sides. Now you're sitting back on your heels. Tuck your toes under. Have a seat right here on your heels. Breathe in, breathe out. This is intense. If it doesn't feel great, if it's painful, don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, adjust, modify, maybe come forward a little bit. But you want to get that big stretch going on in your feet. Bring your shoulders back a little more over your hips. How is that? Bring your shoulders back and down. Big stretch in the toes. Now let's take it to its complementary pose and ankle pose. You got the blocks to bring the ground up to you. Flip your feet so the tops of your feet are on your mat. Use your blocks and walk back onto the tops of your feet. Knees stay together and they both come up together off of the ground. Balance on the tops of your feet. I'll be quiet for a moment. Feel the depth of the stretch in your ankles. How do you like that? Do you ever think of stretching your ankles in this way? No, you don't. You take it for granted. We all take it for granted. The movement, the ease with which we move and walk. All right, back to your toes pose any way you like it. Maybe you don't want to use the blocks and you want to put your hands at prayer center. think good thoughts about you. I'm going to do an ankle pose. And I'm not going to use the blocks, I'm going to balance. A little harder. You could use your hands to kickstand it. No problem. Nobody's watching. You're doing it to make it work for you. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer center. Then I'm going to challenge my balance a little bit here. I'm going to close my eyes and see how long I can hold it here. Boy, when your eyes are closed, it makes such a difference. And you know what? If you fall out, it's no big deal here, right? So maybe just try it with the eyes closed. All right, I'm going to come out of the toes pose now. I'm going to tuck my, I'm going to come into a neutral tabletop position. Remember that one? Shoulders over your wrists, your knees, under your hips. I'm going to lift my feet up. I'm going to squeeze and scrunch my toes, tap the tops of my feet out on the mat, let it go. Breathe in, and breathe out, let it go. All right, cat-cow again. Chin to your chest, tailbone under, push into the earth, arch your back up to the sky. Inhale, it's complementary pose. Cow pose, crown of your head and tailbone lift. Let's finish here. Let's go into our hips a little more in depth with a lunge. So bring your 2 blocks by your side. Come to standing on your knees. Bring your right foot forward. We do lunges often. We're going to hold this lunge nice and static today. All right, send your left leg long. Maybe put a towel under your left knee if the knee doesn't like the comfort here. Right knee over right wrist. Not wrist, this thing, your ankle. Hands onto the blocks. Come on up, shoulders over your hips if that feels good. If it doesn't feel so great, just hang out here. Send your left leg long on to the mat. The top of your left foot is on the mat. Hang out here if that's what's right today. I'm going to bring my shoulders more over my hips. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to interlace my fingers. I'm going to press my interlaced fingers into my right thigh, and I'm going to encourage my right knee forward to the ankle. Totally fine to do here. Sometimes in standing poses, we don't want to do that. Like in your warrior pose, you don't want to let the knee go forward to the ankle because you want that alignment and stability. But here, there's not much weight, not much pressure on that lower leg. So fine, bring the ankle forward. Deepen the stretch in the left hip flexor. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes, challenge your balance. Settle in, and just let the tension in that left hip flexor go. I know that's more easily said than done, but try to send the breath there and let it be. Let's finish here. Straighten the right leg. Either use the blocks or your hands and walk them back. Maybe come to sit on your left heel, or not. But if you don't go that far, that's fine too. Right toes of the right foot up. And then finish. Bring yourself on an inhale back up to standing on the knee. Switch out the knees. Right knee meets left. Left foot forward. Use the blocks. Scoot the right leg long and strong on your mat. Left knee over left ankle for now. Come on up in the shoulders a little bit or not at all. Be thankful for those blocks. Breathe. Interlaced fingers perhaps. Push into the thigh. Eyes close. Maybe, maybe not. How far can you take it? How far feels right today? And then let's finish. Using the blocks or not, straighten the left leg. Hips go back towards your right heel. Left toes go up. Breathe. Kind of your half thunderbolt, right? And when you're ready, maybe hands to prayer center. With an inhale, think of the crown of your head going up to the sky. All right, so we finished there. Let's go into a plank. All right, I know maybe it doesn't feel so restful today, but maybe you want to go back into a child's pose with the elbows on the block, maybe like that. But plank strengthens everything. It energizes. Let's do that. You can take plank in lots of different ways. Remember, neutral tabletop, knees spread a little, work your hands forward, hinge your weight forward and hold it here, strength here. You can go into a high plank. That would be pressing your hands into the mat, sending your legs long, pressing up, shoulders over wrists, feet hip width distance apart, and hold. I'm going to take a forearm plank today because I haven't done that for a while, and it's plenty hard. I'm going to bring the elbows under the shoulders, hands spread wide. You could take it on your knees too, but I'm going to pop on up, tucking my toes, and come up to a plank. Let's set a 1-minute timer, and let's go from there. Let's go with the timer. Here's 1 minute. All right, so whichever variation you're in, maybe you discover a new one, let me know. Lengthen through the crown of your head and lengthen through your heels. Your body is in good alignment here. You've got your shoulders over either your elbows, or if you're in a high plank, they're over your wrists. How are we doing on the time? We're 20 seconds in already. But alignment is important. It's settling in. It's, the words, when we talked about the word sit today, it's to place oneself in position. And it's to get situated, to align. And you want to align your body in your yoga. Knees over ankles when you're doing things like your lunges. And then when you're going into your warrior pose, and elbows under your shoulders or wrists under your shoulders. We got 10 seconds to go. Push the earth away. Take a break if you need it. Know that we've only got 5 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Come on down, have a seat, and maybe grab a drink. Now, just for a moment, feel what you feel. Don't you feel everything has gotten that wake-up call, right? Everything is energized. And planking is one of the best things you can do for your body. You want strength everywhere, right? You have to have strength. And don't fall into that trap of thinking, the older I get, the more sedentary I'm going to get. When you get older, you need to get more active. And it's a different kind of active, but you need to get out, you need to move, you need to not neglect your strength. And your yoga helps with that. It really, really does. All right. Grab a drink. Let's come onto our bottoms. Bring your strap. All right, so we're going to do dead bug to begin with. We're going to do dead bug, then we're going to do boat with the strap. All right, so you're seated on your bottom. Wiggle your bottom and feel those sits bones there. Soles of your feet are on your mat, hands to prayer center. Think for a moment your mantra. Come back to it. Make it outrageous. I am beautiful. I am the strongest person on the earth. Why not? Only you know it. Your brain is listening. Lengthen up to the crown of your head. Slowly come on back to recline. Take it slowly because your core is strong. It is engaged. You got it. We're going to do dead bug. We're going to do dead bug for the brain today. Woo. All right. Send your legs up to the sky. Draw your toes toward your shins. Thighs. They're close by. Lift your arms up. Arms are lifted high to the sky. Feel your shoulders in your mat. Lengthen up. You kind of look like the letter U, right? All right, now you're going to bring down opposite limbs. I'm going to bring the right leg down while bringing the left arm down. Try to get them to touch the earth at the same time. A little game you can play with yourself. Then once they touch, bring them on back up. Now do the other leg, the left leg, the right arm. Let them touch the earth. And bring them on back up. Oh, think of the shoulders. Think of that range of motion in the shoulders. Think of that strong core. Think of those hip flexors working to draw the leg closer to your chest. Opposite limbs make you think. Any cross-body movement is good for the brain. All right, now we're doing cross-body, opposite limbs. Lift and lower, and there's variations of dead bug we do sometimes too. So check us out. Another day, we'll do a different variation. Or maybe right now, you're doing a variation you know and love. All right, lift all 4 limbs up to the sky. Wiggle your ankles because you can. Wiggle your wrists too. Why not? Let your legs lower down nice and slowly. Let your arms go high overhead. Big like stick pose you're coming into. Slowly lower your heels all the way down to the earth. The earth is farther than you think. Palms together to touch. Stretch. Your strap. It's nearby, right? Close by? Let's find it. Bend your knees. Put the strap, the center of the strap, underneath the center of your foot. Send your legs high up to the sky. Hug these straps in like reins of a horse. Now, slowly, this in and of itself is a core exercise. Let your heels float down toward the earth. Keep the strap nice and tight. And you're going to think of your heels as weighted. Then you're going to slowly bring your shoulders up. You're going to bring your heels down and your shoulders up. Do it with control. Try not to have momentum bring you up. Elbows hugged in, feet are reaching toward the front wall, shoulders are back and down. You are holding here with this tight strap in your boat pose. Lean back a little bit more. Find that little part that in your body that makes your core shake. Breathe, breathe, stay strong. Stay strong. Boat pose. We did it a different way yesterday. We do it often because it's such a good balancing pose, such a good core pose. You got it. Breathe in, breathe out. Heels slowly make their way down, but you are in control. Don't do it fast. Do it nice and slow. Heels down, shoulders up over your hips. Alignment. Work your hands down both straps, or down. Work both hands down the strap, holding on to both of them. You know what I mean. Bring your gaze toward your knees. Hold it here. A little bend in your knees might feel good. Nice stretch. Come on back up to seated. Remove your strap. Slowly come on back to recline. Your legs are long, but your heels are going to drag on up. Let them. Arms reach high overhead. Banana asana. I love this pose. Think like half crescent moon when we're standing. Bend or have your hands together. One thumb crosses over the other. Arms are high. Reach your fingers high overhead. Banana asana. Think of the curve of a banana. Every banana is curved differently. Work your legs, which are together, toward the right bottom corner of your mat. Then work your hands, which are together, and your arms extended. Maybe a little bend in the elbows will help you keep your shoulders down, because that's what we want to do. Keep your shoulders down. Keep your hips down. Work those fingers toward the top right corner of your mat. So you're curving your body like the shape of a banana. Remember the sensation you had when we were seated in Sukhasana and we did the cross body movement with the elevator elbow on the one side? You'll feel that similar sensation here in the intercostal muscles. You're getting a nice big stretch, in this case, all up the left side of your body, from your fingertips in your shoulders, which is what we want, all the way down to your feet. Now let's work it to the other side. Bring your hands and your feet back to the midline. Take a big breath here in your stick pose. Just kind of let it go and even out. Work your heels toward the bottom left corner and work your fingers toward the top left corner. Now keep your right cheek down and your right shoulder down. Breathe in, breathe out. Work your hands back to the midline of your body. Work your legs back together. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And soften in your shoulders. Float your arms on down. Make your way on up. Use your hands if you want to, or don't use your hands if you want to, and come on up to a seated position. Legs spread wide. You can bring your block or blocks in between your legs. Lengthen up and then rest your forearms on the block. Crown of the head to the front of your room. Maybe arms reach long to the top of your room like we did earlier when we were in Sukhasana. Slowly bring your shoulders back up. Take your two blocks. Surround one knee. I'm going to surround my right knee with the blocks. Turn your chest towards your right knee. Rest your forearms on those two blocks and just gaze at your knee. Your knees are marvelous. Your knees, oh my goodness, thank you, knees. Bring your gaze closer to your knee. Maybe adjust your blocks, maybe no blocks at all, and maybe you grab your calf. Bring your nose, your chin, your forehead towards your knee. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. It's all good. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Come back, chest to the midline. Take it to the other side. Blocks surround the left knee. Chest turns toward the left. Nice little twist. Forearms onto the block and look at your knee. It's all good. Maybe decrease the height of the blocks. Gaze at your knee. Maybe bring the blocks even lower or no blocks at all, and your hands hug your calf, and maybe your nose or your forehead come to your knee. Slowly lift on back up. Bring your chest back to center. Bring your legs back together at the midline and we are going to have our blocks at the top of the mat along with your two things, your eye shade. Bring them just to the top of the mat. We're not quite there yet. We're going to do a seated spinal twist. All right, so you're seated. Get your sits bones into your mat. I'm going to bend my left leg. I'm going to bring my left heel behind my right glute. The top leg, I'm going to bend it also and work the heel toward my hip crease on the other side. So my knees are stacked. Come to something like this. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. I really feel it in my right glutes. My right leg is on top, so my right arm is going to be a kickstand. I'm going to bring it right down my tailbone, right behind my back, and I'm going to lengthen up here. Take my left hand, I'm going to hold the inside of my left thigh or my knee, whatever feels right, and I'm going to twist to the right. I'm going to breathe in and out. Now this pose has a name, Lord of the Fishes, if you want to do it this way. Straighten the left arm, let your fingers go down toward the earth, and look over your right shoulder. Feels a little different. I don't know how it feels in you, but if you like it, if you just like to say the name, Lord of the Fishes, go for it. I take my hand. I feel like I can deepen the stretch, and I like it a little better when I hold onto my thigh and twist. Come back to the midline. Undo your knees and switch them out. So now I'm going to bring my right knee on the bottom. I'm going to work that heel toward my bottom. Left leg on top. I'm going to work the left heel toward my right hip crease. I'm working it there. It's not quite there. You can hug your feet in, and maybe you want to stay here and just kind of give yourself a foot massage. I'm going to turn to the left now, using the left hand as a kickstand behind my back. Lord of the Fishes, and turn. Twist. A lot of times we finish up in a supine twist. That's reclined and similar sensation. But see how you like this one. Just different, and you got to shake it up, right? Got to do something different. Good for your brain, good for your body. And it's fresh and new. Finish. Slowly come back to the midline. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Let's come out of this, and for final Shavasana today, I'm going to finish in a fish pose. Finish any way you like. If you prefer to skip fish and go into final Shavasana, come to fully reclined on your back. I'm going to place my blocks. I'm going to put them at a comfortable height, a more doable height, because it is kind of the end of our practice too. So one block is vertical on the mat. It's going to go between my shoulders. The horizontal block is going to be a pillow for my head. Eye shade and towel are nearby so I can cover my eyes. Sit comfortably on your bottom. Make sure your bottom is on your mat. Don't pop it up. All right, the vertical block is going to go between my shoulders. And if you have it too low, it's not comfortable. Scoot it on up between your shoulders. Wiggle around to get comfortable here. Rest your head on the head block. Legs can go long, or give them a little bit of a spread here if you like that. If there's some tension on your low back, try this. Bend your knees and have the soles of your feet on your mat. But remember, your butt is down on the mat. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Maybe snow angel them a bit if that feels good. You want to feel the opening in the chest. Perhaps you like the soles of the feet together, knees open wide. If you're in your final Shavasana pose, eyes are covered, relax and be at peace for several minutes here. Now we're going to adopt a different type of breathing today. We've done this a few times, but not very often. So here's what I want you to do first, if you want to try it. Think of a square, a perfect square, and give each side of the square a number 4. Now in that square, let's start at the top right corner. Think of that as being your inhale. So the top part of the square for a 4-second inhale. Then you come down the left side. Think of that as holding your breath for a count of 4. Now we're at the bottom left corner. You're going to go across the bottom of that square for a count of 4 as you inhale. And then you're going to hold your breath for a count of 4 as you go up. So inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 4 seconds at each point. Try it, see if you like it, or breathe any way you like. I'll let you know when we're done. Deep breaths. I'm going to breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold it at the bottom, count of 4. Inhale, count of 4. Soften the area between your eyes, soften your shoulders. Let the box breathing calm your mind. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Shoulders back toward the mat, away from the ears. Knees, if you're in a cobbler-like pose, let them melt toward the earth. Legs, if they're long on your mat, let them be long. Feel the goodness. Breathe in, breathe out. If you want to stay longer in your final Shavasana or your fish pose, hit the pause button on your remote and just enjoy a little bit longer. If it is time for you to come out of your pose and out of your practice, take a deep breath in through your nose. Embrace that natural, brief little pause at the top, and then exhale it out of your mouth. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, whichever pose you are in. If you're on your blocks, when we take that big good morning stretch to come out of it, oh, you reach your arms high overhead, feel the goodness in the shoulders, almost, kind of, sort of, very similar to that nice stretch we took in our shoulders when we started in our child's pose. Breathe. As you exhale, bend your elbows and your knees and roll into a fetal position, one side or the other. Just scoot the blocks aside, roll off of them. Low arms bicep is a pillow for your head. Breathe in, breathe out. I hope today you were just more aware of your breath, more aware of your breath, and thankful for it. As you're ready, slowly press on up to a comfortable seated position. Crisscross the legs because you have more mobility in your hips now, right? Hands to prayer center in gratitude. Repeat that mantra throughout the day. Press your thumbs into your chest, lengthen up. Good alignment here as you sit. Shoulders over your hips. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen up. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, open your eyes if you want, or keep them closed. Let the magic continue. All right, stress number. You had a stress number in the beginning. Can you even remember what it was? Come back to it. Hey, Piper, come here. Come here, Bonnie. There we go. There we go. There's a downward facing dog. Nice job. Okay, so you got the stress number, right? It's kind of a nice little tangible measure. Just like when we do plank pose, how we kind of measure the time just for progress, just to see how things are going. All right, so here you go. You can't think good thoughts and feel bad. When you start to deviate, recalibrate, and invigorate the goodness within. All right, today, focus on what we always want to focus on. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. A different practice. Tell your friends. You can do it. It's restorative. You're going to feel great. See ya. Bye. Hi, guys. Good girl. Hi, guys. So here's the challenge this week. Clear the the lens? What do you need to see more clearly? Change that monologue in your head. Make it a positive monologue. Think of those mantras. I am strong. I am powerful. Think about those things. Focus on what is good. Focus on what is good in you and your yoga. And tell your friends about what's good in your yoga. Tell them to join us. It's free for anybody and everybody every single day of the week. They can join us live. They can catch a recording, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Share it. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. See you on your mats tomorrow.